Good morning, Card Beauties. RJ back with another video. Let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day, showing off some of the old school stuff. From 1975, the Topps Mini cards featuring Mike Schmidt. So, you have here his base card, the mini version from 1975. It's not grade worthy or anything. The center's a little off that way, but the corners are all dinged and chipped, and there's a nice printer error right there, so it's certainly not a gradable card. You have the home run leaders card. Mike Schmidt in 1974, that was the first year he led the league in home runs. He had 36, which led the majors in home runs. Dick Allen over on the White Sox of the American League led with 32. Dick Allen would soon rejoin the Phillies after many years asunder. And then lastly, there is the Phillies team card. Obviously, as a Phillies team card, this was a checklist for the team back in the day. It's got Mike's name on the back, and his position in the picture is right there. You could see him as number 20. So that is the 75 Topps Mini series of cards featuring Mike Schmidt. My random baseball item of the day. I'll explain why I have this handy in a minute, but card from Topps 2000, Roger Cedeno of the New York Mets. This card brings to mind something that a super collector is interested in. If you're a super collector, you want one card of every one copy of every card ever issued of your player. Not only that, several people who are super collectors, such as myself, will try to acquire cards of other players when your super collector player is in the background. So here you have the card of Roger Cedeno, and I noticed there's Scott Rowland, new Hall of Famer, in the back image. Clearly this is happening in New York I don't know if Citi Field was opened yet in 2000. It might have been Shea Stadium at the time. But the Phillies are wearing their road uniform, and I don't recognize the outfield gate or the third baseline gate style. So I'm sure this is in New York. And there's Scott Rowland in the back image of Roger Cedeno's card. So if anybody's a super collector of Scott Rowland, this is Topps card from 2000, number 65, Roger Cedeno, which would also have Scott Rowland, something you guys might need to pick up. Just saying. Today's trivia question. Question for you. We've stopped with this week and this day in baseball history for the month. I'm going to go on to something else just to shake it up a little bit. This day, not this day, but I'm still used to saying it after this for so long. But anyway, in baseball history, there'd been segregation for a long time. Negro League players were not allowed to play in the majors, obviously until 1947 when Jackie Robinson became the first and other people followed. Who was the first player, and I will leave this up to multiple answers because it's possible there are more than one. I will not say definitely, but I will say if you can find more than one, feel free to submit that guess as well. Name for me the first former Negro League player to be on a championship Major League World Series team and win a ring, essentially. Essentially, who was the first Negro League player to win a World Series with a Major League team? Email me the correct answer. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of the question. You'll have today and tomorrow to answer, and we'll pick a winner on Sunday. Your prize for that is a 1990 Score Frank Thomas rookie card. Now, this one came from a binder I'm going to talk about in a little bit. It's pretty beat up. I will throw in extra stuff for the winner just because this card is pretty dinged and dented. So I will include some additional stuff with that. I won't tell you what, but it'll be a little surprise for whoever gets it. So what I want to show off today is I was up at my sister-in-law's house yesterday. We were celebrating my wife's birthday, so we went up to see her sister, and while we were up there, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law's husband, said, "Hey, I've got something for you." I said, "Great, what is it?" And he said, his brother, his younger, I think it's his older brother, doesn't matter. His brother had a collection of cards, and they were going through his father's house. Now, his father's not deceased or anything. It's just that they were cleaning out areas of the house, so they found this binder of cards. Nobody wanted it. I guess they asked around all the brothers. Not one of them were interested in the cards, and rather than throwing it out, he knew I had an interest in cards. He wanted to know if I wanted it. I said, heck yeah. Didn't even matter to me what it was. He mentioned that some of the cards, but sometime in the past, it had been subjected to a little bit of water damage, so he said some of the cards might not be in the best shape. I said, I don't care. I'll take it. So this is what the binder looked like. I covered up the last name, so you didn't see who Chris was. But Chris's baseball cards, if you look through the paper, at one time it also had football cards in it. He had baseball diamond over here and a football over there, but I guess he just eventually kept the baseball cards. And it was a stack of cards, all manufacturers, different things, but from different years. So I'm going to show off real quick some of the stacks. So this is a stack of Topps cards that came in the binder, and it ranges from 82 as a Lou Piniella all the way up to 2000, which is where that Roger Cedeno card came from. So, you know, that's nobody huge in the stack. I mean, there are a number of Hall of Famers. I will show them off in a bit, but certainly nothing of any significant value at all. Even that Frank Thomas card up there in front of you, a raw card, that is like, you know, a couple pennies. It's just not a valuable set. So we had a stack of Topps cards. We had a number of Score, a whole bunch of Score cards, a whole bunch of Upper Deck, a lot of 89 Upper Decks, a whole bunch, but various years. And then it got into some of the later MVP and Victory sets. There were a couple Mark McGwire cards in here. I know I had one. There you go. There's Victory Mark McGwire. Thought there was an MVP one as well. Just can't seem to locate it right now. Doesn't matter. Oh no, I think it was this Collector's Choice version. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so there were some Upper Deck cards as well. Score, Upper Deck. Like I said, all the manufacturers were represented. Topps, Upper Deck, Score. Even had one Sports Flick card, a guy named Mike Henneman. Your Donruss going back to 82. Bunch of Donruss cards. Couple Fleer card starting in 85. A couple Pinnacle cards. Some random Post cereal. Some Pacifics and Pinnacles, a classic. Interesting, 2 Senior League baseball cards from back in 89, 90. I always thought that was kind of interesting. And again, whoever Chris was, whatever he collected, he really covered a large swath of stuff. The knock parts, apologize for the knock. He did have some Topps Chrome from 2000, I mean. Nothing crazy on that. Nice Lance Johnson Chrome version of the 20th Century's Best. A couple prospect cards, but nobody of huge renown. So there's Pat Burrell in there, but you know, Pat Burrell, even he was not a huge name anymore. So that is the extent of the binder. Really, those cards. Now, to show off, like I said, some of the things, this is interesting. This is what some of the cards ended up being because of the water damage. There'd be some severe paper loss on some of these cards. Really, Joe Orsulak took the brunt of it. He had there were about 6 of his cards in there, and each one of them got nailed. This one was kind of interesting to be Jeff Branson from the Cincinnati Reds, second baseman. His 95 Score, the gold version, it's peeling away, and Chris tried to tape it back together. I don't know if you can see the Scotch tape along the edge there and along the edge here. but it's still peeling. And I thought, well, let's just take it off. And it's interesting. So this, I don't know how they manufacture cards. I have no clue. All right, but you can see here that this piece of paper, this foil, was somehow, affixed to this piece of cardboard in here. And I'm sure the same was true on the other side. This one didn't come off like that, but that's pretty interesting to me. Here's the sheet of foil or whatever, plastic, that went into making a 1995 scorecard, and I assume to this day that's still how they're doing it. They've got this just plain white cardboard, and they affix a sheet of material that has been pre-printed onto the card. I don't think they print right onto these cardboard things. I think they affix a separate thing to it. I'm no expert. I don't know, but that was interesting to me when I saw this card peeling away. So that's what the condition a whole lot of cards were in. And a lot of them are going to be thrown in the trash can. In fact, these are going in the trash can right now. They're not worthy of saving. But I will show off some of the bigger name, well, not bigger name, but the Hall of Famers that made it into Chris's collection. So you got keep still knocking things here. 86 Topps Ted Simmons. This actually is the traded version. He got traded from the Brewers to the Braves. This here's an 87 Topps League Leader card, but it's got George Brett on it. So I threw that in there. 87 Turn Back the Clock version, but it's got Rickey Henderson as the main highlight. 87 A's Leaders, but there's Tony La Russa as the manager in the background, so I just decided to include that. 89 Tom Glavine, still sporting the braces. 88 is his rookie card. 89 Frank Thomas manager card. These are really, worthless cards, even though Frank's a legit Hall of Famer, 500 Home Run Club member. He got no love as a manager card. 91 Greg Maddux, but this has a severe bend and crease in the side. Couple 1992 Score Edgar Martinez cards. Several 92 Alan Trammell card. A 91 Post Rickey Henderson. Here's a 2000 Chrome Larry Walker. That was one of the better cards, I suppose. I'm not sure. This is Collector's Choice from 94. I'm not sure if this is a silver signature version or if every card this year of Collector's Choice had a silver signature. I don't remember. So anyway, it's the Wade Boggs. Bad surface wear, probably from the water damage, and the pages kind of got stuck to it. Too early David Ortiz Upper Deck cards, and Upper Deck MVP and an Upper Deck Collector's Choice card. These are both from 1999. If you know your Ortiz cards, he does have a Fleer 97. That is his true rookie card. The kind of like the paper stock feel to it, more so than the glossy feel to it. But these are too early Ortiz. Here's a card from the 1993 Ted Williams Card Company. They did an inserts, and not an insert, they had a subset. This is not an insert, it's part of the base set. Card number 101, Willard Brown, who is a Hall of Famer now. Negro League card. They were celebrating the Negro Leagues in the Ted Williams Card Company that year. They did it in 94 as well. Here's an interesting card from Topps 2020, from Topps 2000, the Rickey Henderson, all centuries best, 20th century's best. You can see here his stolen base totals are just obscene compared to everybody else. It's not even fair how high he had compared to everybody else. It's one of those records that'll never be broken. This is an interesting card, a Jeff Bagwell Topps Power Players. I think this is from 99. Now it inserts it, but again with the damage, it looks like there's some damage in that corner, not just the design, part of the design, but it looks like there's actual damage to the card there. Here's your Upper Deck. I believe this is probably from the MVP insert set or card set, highlighting where various players were born. And this is the Dominican Republic card for Pedro Martinez. Barry Larkins 2000 Topps card. Some cool Upper Deck vintage. It was a Upper Deck release. I think it was right around 2000, 2002 actually. You got your Ralph Kiner and your Yogi Berra. And then this was a cool pickup. 1996, Topps paid tribute to Mickey Mantle, who had just passed, by releasing one copy of every one of his cards, the base cards, inside as random inserts in the 96 Topps release. A lot of people who were, because Mickey Mantle's such an iconic person and his cards are so iconic, they realized that Topps skipped a lot of cards that collectors are interested in when it comes to Mickey Mantle. Some of the all-star cards or the highlight cards or things like that. So in 97, they issued another like 18 cards, filling in all the gaps that collectors thought were missing. So there are 36 Mickey Mantle reprints, all have a Mickey Mantle style foil in the corners somewhere, and somewhere in the corners. And Topps thought, hey, that'd be a great idea. In 1998, they did Willie Mays, I believe. And in 1999, that's when this one came out, they did Hank Aaron. So this is the 1970 Topps Hank Aaron reprinted in a modern stock, modern look to it, with little gold foil emblem celebrating Hank Aaron. So this was probably the best card out of all the others. But again, even this one is likely nothing but $1 card in today's card market. So that's what I picked up for free from my brother-in-law and his brother Chris. The binder and the pocket pages are going in the trash. They're all kind of moldy. Half the cards are going to end up in the trash because there's too much paper loss. They're dinged, they're stained. But there are some that I will keep and pop onto thetradingcarddatabase.com. Maybe I'll use some of them in future trivia questions as prizes. But again, whenever we can get free cards, almost exclusive of condition, we're going to say yes. So I hope you appreciated that. Please consider like, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I love to hear from you. I love to see you watching. Appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.